Why are there so many pictures of Pokemon in here?
I can't imagine why. Do you have the little Pokemon thing where you like scratch its head and it goes? Wrrr?
No.
So today we're going to be talking about content planning, and it's kind of a combination of like planning content for our social media and planning content for like the things that we make.
Yeah, because I think when Lindsay thinks about content planning, she thinks about like a crafter's point of view. When I think about it, I think about YouTube first, and then I think about, oh yeah, I have to update my store. I should probably do that too.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. By the way, thank you, Birdie Tam, for this question. You sent it to me a little while ago, and every time, like, you guys send a question of, like, or, like, a topic suggestion.
Send it to each other.
Yeah. I screenshot it. I, like, highlight the little question section, and then I save it to a folder on my phone so that I don't forget. So, anyway, Birdie, thank you so much. This is going to be fun to talk about.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. I think Birdie Tam's a patron of mine, actually.
Oh, no way.
I'm pretty sure. There's a lot of you, but I'm pretty sure.
Her artwork is hella cute.
Yeah.
I love it so much. Okay.
I'll show you later. One of them made some fan art of me the other day. Fan art of me and you.
What?
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to show you right now.
Oh my God. You did not lead our conversation with this,
sorry.
Donte.
There's so many things in my head.
God.
I'm sorry. Okay, here it is.
I'll get this part out. Okay.
So they made me Link, and then they made you the...
Wait. Where am... Oh my God. I'm the...
You're Navi.
I'm Navi. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wait. Where did it go?
Don't scroll too far.
No. I'm trying.
To the left. You're gonna see something.
Oh, okay, I'm trying not to see things, but like I legit lost the photo.
Okay. That's there.
I'm so adorable. I'll never be this adorable in my entire life. Oh my God. Yes. I bless this person. Who is this? You have to tell me who this is.
I feel bad because I feel like they're watching this right now and they're like, you don't remember me? It's more so that there's 1,000 of you. There's 1 billion of you.
No, there's only one of you who did that.
I will find
it. Okay.
I will find it, and we will put their credits in the show notes.
Oh my God. Okay, yes, please send this to me like soon because I have to edit this in the next 2 days.
I will send it to you very soon. I'll send it to you like as soon as I can.
Oh my God.
What were we talking about?
Oh my God. I've never had fan art made of me before. This is the moment.
I know, that's my...
I'm gonna start crying again.
I don't think that's my first, but that's like, I haven't had it done in like 4 years.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm so happy. Okay, so planning content.
Planning content. Alright, so when we plan content, we usually don't plan it, like, we don't go like, okay, well, I do actually.
Yeah, no, I was gonna say, tell me what you do, and I'll tell you what I do.
Yeah, okay, so what I usually do is I make a list of things, and then I prioritize those things. For example, during the school season, when I know a lot of you are going to school, because a lot of people experience their ceramic art classes in college or high school or something like that, I give you the information that I think you will learn or that you need to know more comprehensively in the class. Like a breakdown of what you would need. You know what I mean? When it comes to like the winter stuff, like right now, it's winterish, you're getting a lot of breaks. You're getting Thanksgiving break, you're getting Christmas break. I start doing videos that are a little more fun. I start doing those just because I go, here's some Glaze reviews. Here's some of me and my patron. Here's some goofy videos of me yelling at the camera for 10 minutes, right? But I do have a list of like clays that beginners should use. Or I want to do one on crazing. I want to be like, this is what happens when thermal expansion doesn't match up with your clay body and your glaze body. And this is what happens with it, and that's called crazing. And this is why crazing is not... Like, I want to do those, but you don't need those on winter break. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of you don't, even though some of you are homestead potters, you'd like to know that stuff. A lot of you were like, this doesn't help me in class right now. So, that's kind of how I plan my stuff out. I have a list, and then I prioritize them based on when I'm making them.
Okay.
But you think of yours more like maker stuff.
Well, sort of. Like, I think when it comes to planning my content on social media, I do more like micro visions, if that makes sense, because since I don't have like a YouTube, basically what ends up on social media is like what I'm most immediately doing in the studio. Yeah. So, but one of the things I am aiming to do, which I often fall short of, is like consistently posting on my social media, because usually what ends up happening, or what I'd like to do, is make sure that I'm posting on Instagram like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Yeah. And I do Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and then... Oh, okay. Yeah. There you go. But I tend to post stories almost every day. So I'm probably the most consistent with my stories, which is kind of fun because it like rewards the people who are like paying the closest attention, which is kind of cool. But one of the things I've been finding helpful recently, because there's so many like different social media things to do.
Yeah.
Is that I kind of plan my content starting with stories, because I'm that's usually where I get most of my footage. So what I've started to do is I'll have, like, let's say I have a story where I'm it's like glazing day, right? So I'll film a longer version of everything that I'm doing and post that to stories. I'll take the same footage from those stories and make a reel out of it. Then maybe a day or a couple days later, I'll post the reel. Then that same reel I'll post to Pinterest and to TikTok. And the reason that I do it in that order is because if I made something on TikTok first and then ported it to Instagram, the little TikTok icon shows up on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I feel it.
Yeah, so
I do it in reverse because my brain goes, well, now you know I have a TikTok.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Oh, that's true.
If people see my reel that I've made from TikTok, people see the reel and they go, oh, where can I find TikTok?
Oh,
They're like, he has a TikTok. There must be more of this on TikTok.
Yeah. I wonder how much, like, people cross, like, check their, like, the creators that they follow or the people that they follow, because it's like...
I wonder that, too.
Yeah, because I don't really... I mean, I post, not... And again, so much of this is aspirational. Like, so much of how I plan my content is aspirational because I often, like, I very much have a ebbing and flowing of how consistent I am with social media, because usually what happens is I'll be really good for a couple weeks, and then I'll have, like, an Etsy update or something like that. And then it's like, I'm really tired from the Etsy update, so I get burnt out, and so I stop posting. But I think I at least have, like, I like having at least the goal, so that I know what I'm working towards, even if I often don't meet that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you shoot high so that, like, at least if you don't meet that expectation, you're still in the sky. You know what I mean?
So it's almost like we shoot for the moon, and if you miss, you land among the stars.
I was trying not to say it so hard. I was trying so hard.
No, we're just gonna go there.
It.
I'm just gonna be. I mean.
All right.
But yes.
Yeah.
But it's So that's. But I don't know. But, like, so do you plan your content in terms of, like, the stuff that you make much, or?
I'll be honest with you. I plan my YouTube out far more than I plan out my content for, like, what stuff I make, because even it baffles me because I make stuff all of the time and I take pictures all the time.
Yeah.
But I don't post many of those pictures.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of us do that. Potters in general, artists in general, are really bad at posting the content that they make. Because, like, we make way more than you see. The process is way longer than what we're showing you most of the time. But I probably have, like, 200 pictures in my phone right now. Probably fully edited.
Yeah.
Brightness, contrast, and all that. That I'm just like, nobody's seen this yet. Out of the 3 or 4 years I've been doing this, on social media at least, it's difficult to imagine that... And I post all my pictures on Instagram, usually, and I share them other places.
Okay.
That I only have maybe like 400 pictures.
Okay.
It's 100 pictures a year. You know I have way more.
Oh, yeah.
Like, every store upload is 100 pictures.
Oh, jeez, dude.
Minimum.
So you could conceivably, like, be... sorry.
I could post a thing a day.
Yeah,
really,
yeah.
if I felt like it.
Why don't you?
Because I feel weird about it. I don't know.
Oh, yeah. You know, this actually is a good moment to throw back on our... I think it's, like, episode 3 of the Mud Peddlers, where we talk about social media.
Yeah.
So as our listeners, if you are interested in, like, some of the broader things around social media that you're curious about, you can go back and listen to that episode as well.
We talk a bit about, like, don't get too attached.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Don't get too attached, like talking about what feels, like, pushy, or, like, being too, like out there and posting all the time. But,
I do a lot of that, where I go, I don't want to post every day because I feel like I'm in your face. But people who are higher follower count on creators are like, post every day.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't know. I have things to do. I assume they have things to do too.
Yeah.
It's a weird. I don't know. It's like getting spam mail from your own creators. You're like, no, stop.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like that's something that I worry about, but as a consumer of creators' content, I never feel that way. I'm always like, oh yay, like somebody posted this thing today, you know?
It's almost never as big of an issue as what I'm worried about.
Yeah.
I'm worried that I'll be annoying people with my content, but people are constantly like, we would like more of your content, please.
Yeah.
Plus, we're makers. I had this conversation the other day with a friend of mine, Ryan. He was like, yeah, like, how much do you actually make, and what do you actually do, and, like, compared to other YouTubers? And I was talking about Markiplier is a video game YouTuber.
Okay.
Some of you guys probably know him, right? But me and him are both YouTubers. But when he YouTubes, he sets up a screen and like 2 cameras and some video capturing equipment, right? And then he has an editor who like puts it out. He makes like 4 or 5 videos a week.
Jeez.
He yells at a camera for a while, and then he just edits it. But we as crafters, essentially, if we're planning out our content, we have to make the thing and record us making the thing. Wait for it to dry. Trim the thing. Recording us trimming it. Wait for it to dry. Put it in the kiln, and then we have to record ourselves glazing it, and all the treatments, and all the stamps, and all the sprigs, and all the slips we put on it. And that takes like 2 weeks if we're fast for one thing. So when we do things in batches, and we show you a batch of stuff, we have to plan our content way ahead of time if we're on YouTube. We can't just sit down and yell at a camera half the time.
Yeah.
And then immediately put it out.
I almost wonder though if that has to do with like what we imagine should be that kind of content for creators, because like I think about how, if I'm posting stories every day, conceivably every day I could be putting together a video. Right?
Technically, but you'd have to like partition it into different sections.
Right.
So like if you wanted to make a video about like throwing, or let's say you wanted to make a video of the entire process of making a cup.
Oh yeah, that would be like a whole thing. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is like if you wanted to make content that was more like studio vlog type of content, you could do that every day.
You technically could.
Yeah. That actually reminds me of a concept that like I think about a lot. I've been thinking about a lot recently, especially as it comes to like content creation, is that like different platforms keep coming up with things for us to do, right? Like Instagram came up with stories to deal with Snapchat.
They want to keep us on the phone.
Exactly. And they came up with like, because stories was the reaction to Snapchat, and then Reels was the reaction to TikTok.
And then fleets were the reaction to stories from Instagram on Twitter.
Oh, okay.
Twitter has fleets, but like only because Instagram has stories.
Yeah. So it's like platforms keep coming up with stuff for us to do, but it's like we don't have any more time as creators to make stuff. So it's like
I'm running out of sleep points. I'm running out of sleep points.
Yeah, I'm getting like points of exhaustion racked up. Like, I'm taking minuses on my deck score, which is already too low for my profession.
True.
It's
True.
Yeah. I don't know.
Can we pause for like a second?
Totally.
Okay, because I have to change the battery.
So Dante's camera died. Unacceptable.
I might buy a new camera.
Buy a new camera or just get a phone. This camera's beautiful. What are you talking about?
Apple has so much better clarity than Android.
It does. But point being, one last thing I want to say is that I'm really happy in terms of content planning this year because I actually had my Halloween update content, like the actual mugs, made like before Halloween. Like I actually in like the end of like what is it? Yeah, like the end of August, early weeks of September, I actually like threw a bunch of cauldron mugs and like planned out some spooky stuff.
We get a little better every year, I think.
Yeah.
I think every year we get a little bit like, oh, okay, so this, like, I'm doing a little bit better, faster. You've gotten so good at it that you made some side projects.
I did!
And they're good.
Mostly because I was kind of getting, like, a little burnt out of making the same, like, shapes over and over again, so I had some extra pieces from the made-to-order update that I hadn't, like, I hadn't carved anything or put any stamps on them. So I just, like, carved a bunch of, like, kind of mildly trypophobia-inspiring mugs. But the other thing, too, is that, like, over the summer, I actually threw a bunch of extra mugs for my holiday update. So I actually have, like, another, like, 15, 20 mugs that are just, like, ready to go for the holiday update.
Oh, you know what? That's what I'm planning on doing, too.
Tell me.
So I made, like, 100 pots for the store update. Mm-hmm. That's coming out, like, in 2 or 3 days. But I'm planning on only putting, like, 40 or 50 on there. So that next time I can just push public, and that way you have another smaller store update.
Yeah.
That way I don't have to do this all over again during the holidays.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love Chipotle.
Every year.
Chipotle's my life.
Ew.
I don't love Chipotle.
That's as good.
And we're back like nothing was the same. Everything was normal.
Everything is different.
I don't like to see my nipples in the cameras. I don't like it. I don't like having them. I don't like them. Most dudes are like, I don't need these.
I mean...
Stop.
Anyway.
Get a wax candle, see what happens.
Oh my god. So, okay. We were talking about...
We're talking about content. So
yes.
When I plan out content, I usually plan it for a certain set of things. So, like, if I want to show you how to... Like, recently I thought about doing one about a butter dish, like a French butter dish.
Oh, yeah.
Right? So I thought about it. I made a little script on my phone, and I said, okay, this is what you would have to do to make this. You'd have to make it airtight. You'd have to do this, this, and this. This is what it's used for. I give some examples. I did some Google searching. But in order to do that, I would have to throw the product, and then, like, even if I dry it out, you would get a halfway made product. I wouldn't get a picture for the thumbnail unless I wait until my next glaze load, or bisque load, really, both. And then I wouldn't, like, I'd have to get a really nice picture of some raw product. I don't know. I understand as a artist that a finished product that looks good and colorful does better on a thumbnail with a good title than does an unfinished product. Most people in the pottery world want to see a finished product with a nice glaze on it.
Yeah.
And it's weird, and I promise you, I'm not trying to be salty right now. I promise you. But the way I make thumbnails is the way that I treat babies. You want big colors. You want big colors, big words, and exciting. You want, like, peekaboo. Like, that's what you want. You want, like, the O face with me pointing to something, and the thing is shiny and colorful going, oh. Like, that's what you want. And even though your brain goes, I don't want that, that is what you're attracted to. That is what analytically YouTube is telling me, like, that's what they want. So in order for me to make good content, I have to make an entire product and have a certain amount of parameters because I know that's what you want.
I would almost question, though, whether, like, for something like a thumbnail, like, if you were making French butter dishes, couldn't you conceivably, like, look up a bunch of pictures of French butter dishes, like, composite them, and then have that in the background?
Yeah, but that feels dishonest to me, personally. It's not mine. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, well, I mean, you'd have to like get the, like, rights to, like, use these pictures or look up, like, historical photos that aren't, like, copyrighted.
Yeah.
But
then people are like, well, that's not what was in the thumbnail. You're clickbaiting me. Like, you didn't make anything. You made the thing that was in the thumbnail, but you didn't make the thing that was actually in the thumbnail.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
So
like,
essentially,
that's not yours.
like, people expect to, like, see the whole process, and unless it's explicitly like, this is a vlog, this is like a more like low-key approach to...
Yeah, it's kind of like clickbaiting, but technically it's just right on the edge. How to make an ocarina, and then I show, like, the actual Ocarina of Time from Legend of Zelda, and people are like, that's not what you made, though. You made a whole different ocarina. You didn't even make one in the shape of the you know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, like, I think there's some leeway with that, but I also hear what you're saying.
It's not me. They're picky. I'm telling you. It's not. I don't do it because I feel like it's personally dishonest, but realistically speaking, people generally have an issue with showing something or titling something in the thumbnail that is not 100% what you're doing in the video.
Yeah.
Even I do to a certain extent. So, like, I get their frustrations.
Yeah.
Well, you haven't started your YouTube, have you?
Not really.
Other than this?
Yeah, no. Other than posting, like, the mud peddlers, I haven't started it yet, and I will get to it. Like, it is something that I know that I want to do, but I think kind of like with the mud peddlers, I run into my, how do I say? Like, it was hard for me to, like, now posting stories is relatively easy. Like, it's relatively easy for me to, like, I know what camera angles work.
Yep.
I know, like, okay, here's how I put things together. Yep. And usually what ends up happening is, like, every few days I'll make a reel, and then that reel becomes the rest of my, like, content just from, like, what I post for my stories.
Right.
But for YouTube, right now I don't, it's like, because I haven't really planned out how to do, since I've never really done it before,
right.
There's more, like, mental blockage. It's like, there's this concept of, like, thinking fast versus thinking slow, and you think fast with things that you have more experience with, like, the neural pathways are, like, there. It's like, you know how to do these things. Yeah,
they've already set a path. It's already, yeah.
Yeah, but with thinking slow, it's like, oh yeah, like, I've never done this thing before, so it's like, it takes longer. So because I've had so many different things, like, so many irons in the fire, so to speak, it's not something that I have prioritized. I've kind of started to do it, but I think right now what I'm wanting to prioritize more is, like again, as always, trying to get more consistent with posting on Instagram, and TikTok and Pinterest. You know, kind of, again, all same content, but just getting reshared. and then Patreon.
Yeah, Patreon's a whole different thing.
Yeah.
Because I feel like just personally, I feel like my patrons should get stuff that no one else sees. But realistically, they just get like more information than everybody else.
Yeah, and so they also get it earlier too.
They get it way earlier.
Yeah.
They see the same things, but they get way like my patrons know what's coming in my store. You know those little cups I showed you with symbols on them? They know those are coming.
Yeah.
But like the average person doesn't know those are coming.
Right.
You know what I mean? Except for you. Because can we talk real quick about, can we sideline?
Wait, before we sideline.
Yeah.
Well, okay.
It's about TikTok, to be fair.
It's about, okay.
But it doesn't tie onto the conversation.
Okay. Yes, but let's come back to this because there's a thought specifically with Patreon.
Okay, go.
That I wanna come back to, but let's tangent
Let's
first.
put a pin in that.
Okay, tangent, TikTok, tell me.
Okay, it's not really a tangent, it's just, I am part of the generation that has had Vine, okay?
Yeah.
I went back and looked at Vine and compared to TikTok.
Yeah?
And I feel like an old head, and I feel like I've pulled it out of my ass. TikTok's better, guys. TikTok's better. There's a bunch of old heads right now. Like, boo, TikTok sucks. All new things are bad. Dude, I went back and visited Vine, and it's just like King Batch being like living up to stereotypes. It's weird. Vine was just like racism light. I didn't like it. Because like by the social standards we have today, I look back on older content and I'm like, I don't know. I don't know if we could have did that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
not that TikTok doesn't also have some serious problems.
TikTok has problems too, but TikTok has a lot more people reacting in video form like how YouTube used to be. Of people calling each other out. Like somebody will make a very slightly not okay comment, and somebody else will make a whole video on why that comment was not okay.
Yeah.
TikTok has like checks and balances. As for Vine, we're just like, haha, boobs.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. Well, that's true. I think like, TikTok still has like structural issues that make it like problematic. But I hear what you're saying in terms of like it seems like with TikTok there's an easier way to respond to messed up stuff being said.
TikTok seems to have the same systematic issues that Vine had, but Vine was like, for some weird reason, when I had Vine when I was younger, Vine, it was more acceptable on a normal basis for someone to say something that was not cool to say if it was funny.
Yeah. But
like on TikTok, if someone says something and it's funny and someone has a problem with it, there will be a pseudo community of people who are like, that wasn't cool. Not saying that that's a good thing. I'm actually quite annoyed with cancel culture in general, to be honest with you.
That's a whole different thing. That's a whole other thing, though.
There's toxic parts of every community, to be fair. I love Rick and Morty, but the fan base of Rick and Morty is a bunch of people who think they're Ricks. I'm a Summer. I don't know. I just wanted people, like, I wanted someone who got their head out of their own ass and was like, no, it's new and it's bad. I don't like it because I'm not a 13-year-old. Now I'm like, haha, TikTok funny. Like,
yeah, we've come a long way. We've come a long way with TikTok. I think like seeing more people that aren't, or seeing more people who are in our age bracket use TikTok is kind of what made me go like, okay, it's okay for me to use TikTok, because it's like, I didn't want to be like, hello, fellow kids, especially because I learned that I'm apparently hella not cultured, like, at all.
She's not internet cultured.
I'm not internet cultured.
Lindsay's not internet. She doesn't know when the narwhal bacons. Like, she has no idea. She's not.
You told me about that.
I did. I had to tell her about that. Yeah. She knows how to respond now.
I forgot how to respond. You're gonna have to remind me.
No,
don't tell them, because they have to
figure it out.
Yeah.
There's people on here right now who are like, yeah, I know, but then there's a larger group who are like, what are you
they're like,
about?
what? And I'm like, yeah, no, it's okay. I'm with you. Like 99% of the time, I'm like, I have my own little like section of like Imgur that I go on. And, you know, I've got my geek hood in my own ways, but I'm not internet cultured.
I think people think we're just like, we're making work all day, but at the same time, have YouTube and Reddit like in the background at all times while I'm making stuff.
And I've got like podcasts on in the background.
Exactly.
So,
it's like I watch like Destiny videos. Weirdly enough, a lot of John the Potter videos, because he's very exciting to me. Yeah. He's so cool, and I don't know why. A lot of Destiny videos. Like 90% of my stuff's Destiny videos. But because of that, I'm all internet cultured, you know? Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Let's bring
it back in. Let's just reel this in. Okay, so one of the things that you were talking about, here, I your bro.
Oh, no.
Oh, you good? Your face just now. That was amazing. So, one of the things you told me about earlier. One of the things
We're gonna have to cut so much of that out.
I know. No, I think I can leave some of it in. We'll see.
Okay.
But okay, so one of the things you were talking about earlier with like Patreon and figuring out the content difference between Patreon and Instagram.
Yeah.
Reminds me of something that a artist friend of mine talked about. Her name's Kate Farrell, and she's actually an arts business coach, and she's in a critique group that I'm a part of. And I, was kind of talking about this one time because that's another thing that would always kind of stop me when I thought about, okay, I should make a Patreon. But then I think, oh God, like, how do I plan the content?
Yeah, what am I going to give them that I don't already give?
Exactly. Well, for me, it was more like because I mean, all things considered, I don't post like that much on social media, all things considered. Like, I don't post my food. I don't post like my walks when I go to, from my home to the studio.
Right.
But it was kind of like, oh, but will people, like, would I get more followers if I posted more of that stuff? But Kate talked about it in terms of, like, imagine your layers of content in terms of, like, inviting somebody into your house. Like, people who follow you, like, for free on Instagram or TikTok or, like, the free social media, that's kind of like you see your neighbor on the sidewalk as you're going for a walk and you catch up a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah. And then...
I like that.
Right? And then the lower tiers of Patreon are kind of like you chat with that friend or with that neighbor on the sidewalk and they say, oh, hey, like, I'm making something in the studio. Like, do you want to come have a look? And so it's like you invite them further in. And then the upper tiers of Patreon are kind of like, hey, so we've caught up on the sidewalk, or we've hung out in the studio. Why don't you come inside the house and we'll have some dinner or something
The
like
top
that.
level patrons, we're in the bed together.
Yeah. I know, I'm like, the more I say this, the more it sounds like a date. It's not meant to be that way at all.
My top level patrons, we in it now. No, you're right.
But it's definitely like, it's those layers, and it's like, for me,
I love it.
Yeah, it's like...
I get it, the analogy. Like, it's
right?
perfect. It's, yeah.
That made it a lot easier for me to think about, like, okay, how am I going to, like, invite people in to see more of me in a way that's like, yeah, you kind of like you... put in the work isn't really like the best phraseology for it, but it's kind of like, okay, like you're supporting me consistently financially. That means that you get to see stuff that other people maybe wouldn't because they're just neighbors walking down the street that we're catching up.
You're the one making the house nice. You come in, see what you've done. Yeah. Yeah, no, I love it.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that good?
It's beautiful. It's great.
Yeah. So Kate Farrell is the person, the friend of mine. So she also, shout out to Kate because she has a Instagram. She's an art coach, art business coach, and anyway, you could follow her for some good tips. So I don't know. Okay, so what are some things? What are for like content planning? We have an episode of the Mud Peddlers from last year where we talk about preparing for the holidays. So we've kind of talked about how we plan content for our like social media. Is there anything else you can think of regarding that we should cover before we kind of talk about planning things, like the actual things that we make?
I can say personally, and this might be a little off the rails, that I've started to kind of give in to the more productionist mindset as far as the holidays go. Where like I recently made like 50 teacups for the thing, okay, and instead of me going, oh, maybe like I'm gonna do this in this color and this in this color, I've started to realize a lot more of my supporters and patrons want the stuff that I have, but I seem to be making like one-of-a-kind things. Yeah. And my brain was like, what if I just met like 4 of these? You know what I mean? Yeah, so absolutely. That way 4 people can get... They're still rare. It's not like I'm going to remake them all the time. I'm not making 200 of them, but it's very much like that helped me with creating, I suppose what we're calling today, like the craft process, where I go, cool, I have 25 mugs. 4 of you are going to be this, 4 of you are going to be that, 5 of you are going to be that. Yes. You know what I mean? This glaze combo, because that's tried and true as far as my repertoire goes. This glaze combo, I know people are going to buy this because it has this symbol on it. Yeah. And that's where I've kind of been as far as my content creation goes. And I know I can easily make videos out of those. Yeah. But I feel like I want to pump them out so I can get the store ready so I can say more important things on the YouTube channel. Oh. That's where my mind's been as of now. Okay. They're very separate for me, the two. The two are like, I'm making stuff, but I'm also making you content. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like. So it kind of sounds like you, in general, you prioritize your
your social media content, your YouTube content, and then making the mugs for your store updates is kind of like secondary to that.
I'm very grateful they're willing to wait because I update my store like once every 2.5 months. So
I need to.
I'm pretty grateful
more
for
consistent
that.
about that. When I can't remember if we've talked about this before, but like what was the, or if we've talked about it on the Mud Peddlers rather, but but what was it that kind of made you like make that switch? Was it kind of, because it sounds like it was kind of like you wanted to make more pieces, more like have multiples of the same piece, to meet your followers' desire to have like multiple, because multiple people would want the one cup, and it's kind of like, okay, if I make more of the same thing.
You made a White Lotus cup, but you made the 2 in the course of like 4 months.
Yeah.
Can I have one, please? Like,
yeah.
And I started to kind of think. Well, I think when I was new, I used to think about morality is not the right word, but I used to think about, I suppose, the ethics of my craftsmanship as far as it went with what I made, and so my brain immediately went the opposite direction of production work. And because of that, whenever I thought about making like 5 of the same cup in the same combination, I didn't think my followers would really like a chance to have these. It's it's not FOMO out here. Like, it's not like, oh, I didn't get in fast enough, so I didn't get this specific pot that I wanted.
And also, even if you are making 4 or 5 of the same thing, that's still a really low. Like, that FOMO is kind of still there,
it's still
which
kind
is
of
good.
there. Yeah.
It's just not like ultra level FOMO of like, there's only one.
Right, but I think I went ultra level in the opposite position. I went like, I'm only making 1 of these. You'll be lucky if I make another one this year, you know?
Yeah.
But now I think I've moved a little bit on the scale away from that like super individual, one of a kind. I wouldn't say to production work, but I would say a little bit closer to producing work that people want, making it more available to people who support me and want to buy my stuff. Yeah. And I think that's kind of where I am right now as well, is like, well, I'll do that. But we're good.
Yeah.
But I also don't want like every YouTube video to be, I don't integrate them a lot. I don't think I'm making 5 cups. You're going to watch me make 5 cups. This week's YouTube video is going to be 5 cups.
Yeah.
I just don't do that.
Yeah. And mine, even though I don't have a YouTube, like my content and what I'm making are like the same thing. Because like brain space wise, I haven't figured out how to like integrate like, okay, this is what I'm doing on like a production level to like prepare for my next update or whatever, or to work on whatever commissions I have.
Yeah.
And then planning like content above that for like a YouTube channel. But
you know what I often do is I'll make a video on something like an experimentation or a glaze review, and I'll give my patrons, because they're one-offs, right? They're not a part of a line. They're like, we're doing a test. If that test comes out really good, I think I made one with a bunch of little dots on it. It was a thumbnail for like the 3 videos ago on my website or my YouTube channel. I gave it to a patron and she was like, oh, I got it. It was from the episode. I wanted it.
Oh.
I often give it to my patrons so that they can have that mentality of like, oh, it's from the episode. I remember this. Like, it has something attached to it.
Yeah. Oh,
you know what
cool.
I mean? Instead of being like, oh, he gave me 1 of the 5 of his swirly mugs.
You say that as though that's not like super special still.
I know. That's just where my brain is. Where I'm like,
Yeah.
instead of being like, wow, he only made 1 of these and it was on camera. Now I'm like,
I mean, that's still really good though. But I hear where you're
yeah, I think it's a personal gripe, but
Yeah.
I was on the other end of the scale. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is my battery dying again?
It's gonna be kind of funny because it's like people in the background are suddenly gonna be like, "There's no lights on," or "There's one." Oh my god. Yes.
I throw it in a circle.
Oh my god.
That's just from my point of view, but I assume the more you do it, and as the algorithm changes, the more used to it you get. It's far less like how do we do it, and it's far more like what's the most expedient version of doing it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
In a perfect world, I'd take a picture and I go, that's Monday, and then I would share it on Tuesday, and then I'd take a picture on Tuesday and go, share it on Wednesday. In a perfect world. But like every store update that I have, I take 3 different angles of a singular pot, 3 pictures per pot, 50 pots per update at least. That's 150 pictures. I edit all of them.
Oh my god.
Right? So I could technically be sharing a picture a day and never run out of content for you guys.
Yeah.
But I just don't, because I don't think about creating content like that.
Yeah, I feel like I should start scheduling my posts, or at least like preparing several in advance, because I think if I took like a Friday or whatever and just spent like a couple hours preparing posts, if I did that ahead of time, I think that would save me a lot of grief, so that I wouldn't have to be like as like hand to mouth with like taking pictures and then the next day posting, taking pictures and then the next day posting.
Right.
But I don't know. I think
I love that hand to mouth kind of mentality. I like it's just like our stories. I really like people to see what I'm doing and where I'm at the moment.
that's fair. That's
You
fair.
know, I don't know. I like
at least
that,
for your Instagram.
At least for my Instagram.
Yeah.
I really like that interpersonal connection of like, oh, I know where Donte is.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every now and then I skateboard and I'll like show myself skateboard. People are like, oh, I didn't know you skateboard. I'm like, yeah. I do more things than pottery, guys.
Yeah.
I don't have the one thing.
We are whole human beings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Abel's pregnant.
Yeah! It's officially announced, even though kind of people already knew, since we sort of already said a thing about the thing on a previous episode, but
It's almost here.
I'm
Now
trying to
that's
think.
some planned content. Took 9 months to make that piece of work.
Oh my god!